Hey everybody. Give me a second here. Alright, trying to set up my levels here. I hope not every video is gonna be that loud, but we'll see. Trying to think by what ratio I gotta reduce the audio here. If I drag this up, is the audio gonna stay louder while I talk, or is it gonna... Yeah, I guess it will. If I do ratio of 20 to 1... Unless that gets rid of it completely. Could do 2 to 1. I don't know. 3 to 1? Let's try that. See how we do. All right. Happy Thursday, everybody. Almost weekend. Okay. Gonna be doing some game dev today. Since I finished the sprites, I'm gonna actually hop over to here. Do I have the game preview? Yeah, let's put that one up. I'm gonna work on the animation component. But before I do, I have to quickly do some texture packer, sprite, or rather PNG sequence exporting. Bear with me for a moment. I've never listened to this song before. It's actually quite hilarious. Wait a minute. Isn't that the guy from Game Grumps? Yeah, I think it is. I mean, his character kind of looks the same. If you don't know who Game Grumps are, you should check them out. They're quite funny. Alright, so we've got 162 frames. Let's just export all of this. Bear with me here. Blood Master, how are you doing? What's going on? Alright, let me delete all of these. Actually, shit. Okay, I gotta delete all of the frames out of the existing folders. Oh shit. Deleted the wrong ones in the wrong folder. Okay. You working on State Machine or what it's called? Yes. Animation component. State Machine. Both work. Point. I can forget that. All right. Faster. I don't know if I should export them at a higher resolution. I'll just keep it what it is right now. Hey, Sarp, how's it going? Let's listen into a stream music mix, which is just a compilation of a bunch of sometimes kind of strange mashups. I don't know. So far, so good, though. There is so much delay in YouTube that I think it's a good idea to put your chat feed on your stream so audience can see their messages reached you or not. That's a good point. I honestly don't know what's causing that delay. Good point. Let me look up something here. Live stream latency. Okay. Seems like there might not be. Let me see here. I don't know if there's something I can do in YouTube Studio. YouTube side. Normal latency. Stream settings. There isn't really stuff. Yeah, I can't switch from normal latency to ultra low. It won't let me. I don't know if that's because... Huh. I don't know if that's because the stream is already going, or because I'm streaming through a different, like a third-party app. Message delay, redirect, I don't know. Okay, there isn't really anything I can do. Yeah. Okay. Then give me a second. You can just do that. Didn't mean to just, wait, let me catch you up. Catch up with what you wrote. Sorry, just wanted to see what you're working on. Didn't mean to dump all this. All good, man. All good. Have you edited new animations yet? No, I'm about to. Sorry, didn't mean to distract you. I don't think there is anything you can do with the delay. Twitch is a lot faster. It's just you. Yeah, well, I mean... Why am I looking for my... Oh, my hand feels naked without a glove. I'm not too worried about Twitch, although the delay there is also... not significant, is still there, but I mean we can keep the stats up there. I don't see an issue with that. No way, people like, you're right. That way people can see that their message has made it through. I'm just exporting the animation from Animate. I'm doing it all over again because I'm going to do... like, I'm going to re-import a JSON file, which gives me one texture, which is a lot, I feel, more efficient than the alternative. Okay, so from 121 to 123. That's screen. Starting screen right. And then this one starts screen left. Gotta rename these. I'm also an animator. I'm making games as well, but I keep dumping the code side to programmer friends. Nice. Did you know how to use Unreal, or did you follow a tutorial to be able to learn enough to do a platformer? I technically, and it's part of the reason why I decided to use Unreal Engine. It was the initial deciding factor. I studied 3D game animation back in college, which was just kind of like a generic name for everything from traditional animation, which is funny because it was a 3D program. So learning traditional animation all the way through to compositing, rigging, animating, modeling, rendering, whatever it is in 3D. Including using Unreal Engine. And I think it was Unreal Engine 3 back then. And I really enjoyed it, but I haven't touched it. Like, my career is mostly in 2D animation. And so I haven't really touched 3D since... Sorry, one second. I gotta... IT screen right start. There we go. So was a deciding factor at the beginning to hop back into Unreal, but I've never programmed anything. Like, I never had to use nodes or whatever. So I followed like a 50-minute tutorial on how to make a little top-down or like Diablo perspective style shooter, and before I even finished that one, I was like, you know what, I think the best way to learn is to just make a game. I'm gonna make a platformer game intended to make a quick like 15-minute throwaway, which, as you now know, has turned into far more. The 123 to 137. That goes into idle to idle. Screen right end. There we go. Then 128 to 138 to 139. Is idle to walk, screen right end. And then 40 and 41 is idle to run screen right end. There we go. What's the project you worked on 2D animation? Do you have a portfolio? I am still putting together a website, which I figure I should probably have. I worked on a lot of projects over the years. I've been in the animation industry since the summer of 2011. Boogaloo, how you doing? That right there is my reel, and then I have an Instagram that has my art, but let's see. There you go. Okay, where was I? 142, 142 to 143. Okay. Is idle turn start? Green left. There we go. Then from 44 to 58. Is idle turn to idle. Green left end. There we go. Idle turn to screen left end. Very good. There we go. Yeah. Sweet. Awesome. I think that should be it. Let me try to do texture packer real quick and then oops. Publish spreadsheet, there we go. Gotta wait for it to finish. Alright, and I'll show you. Okay, now we're in Unreal. I need. Why the fuck can't I see my. You worked on Spider-Man cartoon? I actually directed. So that is my animation reel, and I haven't like animated on a show properly in a while. It's because I've been directing for a long time now. I directed Marvel Superhero Adventures seasons 1 through 4. 1 was my first time directing a show ever, and by 4 I feel like we kind of hit our stride. Loved it. We had so much creative control, which was freaking fantastic. Marvel was an amazing client to work with. Yeah. Plus, I mean, the show absolutely fucking took off on YouTube. Marvel HQ is the channel. You can hop over there if you want to watch that. Right now, I'm working as the supervising director of animation at a studio in the province here, and I'm also directing a show for that studio. It's a Polly Pocket direct-to-YouTube 3D show. Amazing. Worked on this. That's amazing. I worked on the Spider-Man movie, but people keep saying it was the worst Spider-Man movie. I would love to get good enough in 2D to also get 2D gigs. You worked on a Spider-Man movie? Which movie? Are you doing mostly 3D gigs? One of the coolest things I've ever experienced was Marvel had like an exhibit going on. Started at the Mopop, I think it was called, museum in Seattle. And for that, they wanted like, they set up a room with the Thing sitting on a couch and a sort of fake window behind. That was essentially just a big TV screen with like wooden bars to really make it look like a window. And for that, I had to animate, had the chance to animate a couple of things, including Spider-Man coming down. That's the beginning of the demo reel where he's waving. And I actually went and I sat on that couch and had that play behind me. That was, I think, the coolest experience I've ever had. Because I don't know, I usually don't watch the things that I work on. Okay, so what am I doing? Right. Let's go to... No, not material. Sprites, characters, player, master. Let's delete. Okay, I think we have to start at the top here, so let's delete the, whoops, the flip books for this. With the flip books gone, let's hop into the frames. Force delete. Delete that. Okay. Let's just delete this one too. Gotta make sure. Where am I? Animation. Okay. So the cool thing is when you have a JSON file, which can, you know, if you use Texture Packer, you can make sure that you have like a bunch of different folders for the individual sprites. And then if you publish and export that, you know, in this case, specifically for Unreal Engine, you end up with one massive texture that has all of the folders that you put in Texture Packer into it. And the cool thing with that you can do, so let me just quickly change this to trilinear. If I click on this, just a JSON file that I imported, I can click on create flipbooks. It creates the flipbooks with the right naming convention based on whatever the folder names were. I think folder names and then like the name of the file, I want to say. It already creates the flipbooks because it automatically creates the sprites. Saves a lot of time. Okay, I gotta make sure I have all of it. Let's edit in property matrix. Size is 3. Hey King, how you doing, man? I worked on Far From Home. I'm a VFX animator. Oh, dude, nice. I mean, respect, because I mean, I can somewhat relate. I feel like the VFX animation industry kind of, or the VFX industry kind of gets shat on a lot by live action. Like for one, like you guys don't get paid properly for the amount of money these movies make and the amount of hours you put in. So respect for working that job. I'm sure your pay is still a lot better than what animators in the TV industry make. Especially 2D in Canada. But still. That's cool though. I mean, heck, if I went into that field, I'd want to work on some of that stuff. I think Star Wars would have been a big one for me, except I don't really care about Star Wars anymore ever since Disney. Which is sad. Finally have stuff to work on. Nice. Also, I storyboard a lot, but I'm not sure how to transition into a directing position. Any advice? Honestly, not really. I mean, I never went through the storyboarding route, although it's a good path to take just because you come in with a lot of experience on shot choices and, you know, visual storytelling. When, you know, I came through the route of animation, which means I'm a lot more focused on the quality of animation, less on, and have less experience with like making decisions on shot choices and all that stuff. So that's kind of the stuff that you have to pick up once you get to that position. But I don't know. I mean, I know some people who, I was going to say a lot of people, I want to say like the majority of the directors here in this area at least came through storyboarding to directing. And I think they just worked their way up the storyboarding ladder, you know? Storyboard director, and then from that it's not too much of a jump. I think it's all about like seeing if there's an opportunity coming up and just throwing your hat in the ring. You work at ILM? Come over. I'm surprised what you said about 2D animators getting paid less. Really surprised me. I lived in Toronto for 3 years, but I only worked on 3D animated TV stuff like Paw Patrol. Yeah, I mean, the salaries in 3D are better. And I gotta turn down this, like, I can't hear myself think. Yeah, the salaries are better for 3D. The salaries in the States are better than in Canada. And I feel like, I mean, you probably deal with that in out east as well. The push, like, toward the bottom, you know, trying to outbid one another for the lowest possible or whatever project budget to then get the gig, which then results in shitty pay. Prior to Sausage Party, I think that was the name of the movie, coming out, the industry here was very much still like taking advantage of animators, you know, paying for 8 hours, but you work, you know, 8 hours a day, but you work 16 hours a day sometimes, or 24 or whatever, like, to get the deadlines. But oh shit, you're in UK now. Dude, I am gonna be moving to Spain come September. I want to network with people, including you, man. I don't really know much about how the industry works over there. I don't know many people over there, so yeah. Fuck. But do you like it a lot better over there? Like, as far as the industry is concerned? Are the conditions better than they are in Canada? Player. There we go. I need the player blueprint, because from the player blueprint Mind. Animation. There we go. And this one I need as well. Alright, so let's hook all this stuff up again. Right. Master. Idle a screen left. Idle a left. Here. I have to adjust the speed of the flipbook still, but screen right. Specify this left. Idle turn, start, screen, right. God, these mashup combos. Screen, right. Idle to idle and screen. What? Oh, that's really cool. I only worked in Netherlands when I was younger for a little bit. It was an ad agency. I don't know how it would be in Spain. When I was in Toronto, I was 23, fresh out of uni. Loved it when it was when I was there, but only had a year of working experience. I've been in UK for 7 years now. In VFX, the pay is good, but London is very expensive. I recently moved out, commuting in now. Yeah, I mean that's why. Like I live in Vancouver. And it's crazy expensive. I'm moving out to a small town, like, not too far from Valencia. But the thing that I like about Europe is that you can do remote work. Not for everyone, but remote work for some gigs across Europe. So I'll probably look into that. I know that Spain has something going on as well as far as animation is concerned. But, I mean, I don't know how it is for you in VFX, but right now, animation is going through a rough patch. Like, a pretty bad rough patch. Doesn't help that, like, AI is now coming into the picture, too. Okay, so... idle to run and whoops, screen right. Sure that I'm selecting the correct one. Run. Idle to oops, screen left. Hey Reinhardt, how you doing? Yeah, remote is very widely done. VFX usually forces minimum 2 days in office, but rest is work from home. I see. Yeah, I mean, fuck, if I if I spent some more time in 3D, got into 3D animation, I don't know, maybe I would like try to kind of break into VFX. Not a bad idea to like open up the range of possible jobs you can take. Definitely happy I'm breaking into Unreal. I did a very quick and dirty cinematic in Unreal. Like, it wasn't really like anything super fancy, but if you watched my episode 7 video, had it there at the beginning. Let me find it. It was to basically see how how the sequencer works and how you can use motion capture animation and then throw together something. Playing around with like throwing together an environment from like different assets. Shot choices with the camera. Make the camera move a little and then yeah, figuring out I'm trying to break into 2D storyboard and gaming Unreal things now. Grass is always greener. That is true. Grass is only greener if you keep positive. You can learn to hate anything if the motivation is off, or if you are in a bad place mentally. Wait a minute. What? Yeah, you can learn to hate everything. Yes. But I definitely recommend trying out everything. That's true. We can hear you with the video audio, but it looks really good. We can't hear. Oh, I mean, video audio is just music. That's all it is. There isn't any anything else to it other than music. Idle to walk and left. Oops. Content browser. Go. Idle to run. There we go. I think I've got it now. Still there. I don't know if I have to hook up the... This one would definitely be idle to run. Idle to walk and screen. Right. Okay. And then idle to idle. Alright, and then we just got to do it for the flip side. Technically, though... Oh, no. Very slow. So I definitely need to speed that up. It's going to be... Okay, not 24. 12. Right. Okay. Idle start. I don't know if I had it at 24. Maybe one way to find out. See how that works. Yeah, actually, let's take all these. Make they're 24 frames a second. Sure. And then we need the opposite side, obviously. So... this one. Okay, if direction is 0 and velocity is greater than 0, we trigger the next animation state. I'm currently trying to learn grease pencil stuff. I also want to break into the industry. Nice! Yeah, grease pencil is one that I have to look at still, too. There's so many things to look at. Animation graph, idle to start. This thing. Velocity equals... Wait a minute. What? Oh, yes, yes, yes. Right. Here we have T start, green left by bool or by int. Let's do by int for now and see. Get owner direction. Should this that one doesn't exist anymore. Dart. I'm meaning. Wait a minute. What? Oh, it's the wrong side. God dang it. Alright. Side. Oh, my light just died. Nice. Okay. There we go. Time remaining, screen left. No. Oops. Right. Oh, jeez. Copy all that. Throw that in here, and then worry about. So, corner direction needs to be 0. Corner velocity needs to be. Let's see. There we go. Flip these upside down. Needs to be less than 280 and greater than 0. Okay. There we go. Walk movement, play controller, left alt to be active. And time remaining on the screen left. Bitch. Time remaining. That. And here I'm going to toss in idle to walk and screen left. Run. This. Aiming. Okay, I hope it all works without me having to do anything else here. Time remaining. Be really frustrating if it doesn't work. Technically, but... And then that is set up, yeah. Did I change this at all? Lock last frame. Okay. Let's test it out. Let's see. Okay. That's already a good start. Okay. Yes. And then here, of course, I forgot to add this in. Greater. This is going to be 0. Try again. God damn it. Uh-huh. Interesting. That's not right. Ah! God damn it. Why? Why? Oh. Velocity greater. That's why. It's not turning. Or it's happening so fast that you can't really see it. Let's quickly. Oh, it's actually right there. Let's slow this down. Can't tell. I need to like frame by frame this, but let's go slower than that. I don't know how to code, so I'm just doing nodes, blueprints. And I mean, technically the logic is the same. It's just a visual system over writing text. But yeah. There isn't, it's one prototype level. Not finished. The art definitely, like the 3D models are temp stuff. It's basically just an end of the year review of what I've had so far. And I mean, let's put it this way, like, you know, I started in 2022 with all of it. I think August 2022 is my first dive into Unreal and the blueprint system and all that stuff. But like, it took me maybe, keep in mind, like, I obviously have a job, a life, and all that stuff. A year of working, like, I don't know, maybe 10 hours a week, 15 hours a week or something like that on this thing to get to where that end of the year review is. Give or take. So anytime I'm trying to do something in the game that I like, you know, let's say the intro there that you see, like making a cinematic or like more cinematic type of start menu. One YouTube video. You follow along with the YouTube video, you kind of get the thing working the way that you want to, but along the way you pick up some things about the way that logic works. And then you look into, oh, well, actually, I want the character to crouch. How do I do that? Then as you do that, you pick up something along the way of how that works and the logic behind it. So, like, as you work on it, you pick up things that make it easier to do the next thing and the next thing. And that's at least my path, the way that worked out for me. And so I would say, like, give it 3 months, and at the end of 3 months, you'll start to feel more comfortable with it already. And, like, each time, like, you learn something new. It's like a little light bulb moment that goes off, and you're like, oh, okay. And then once you've done it for, like, let's say a year, like, it's basically you're thinking about the thing that you want to do, and you already then have, like, a little bit of a vocabulary, or let's say 7 months or something like that, of logic functions and what to search for in your mind. And when you get stuck, you just try and find, like, solutions to it. I mean, I don't know. That's how it works out for me. Anyways. Okay, let's turn that AC off. It's getting a little cold. Okay, so if I turn, it pops into the walk. It doesn't even finish. I don't like that. Like, I don't want to have to... Oh, God. Like, I don't want to have to... What am I going to say? I don't want to have to... like, create new animation states to prevent this thing from, like... Yeah, it's skipping the animation. Why is it skipping the animation? Right. it is still going here first, when it shouldn't be. So I want to make sure that you should be going into walk if the direction is this, if the speed is this, if the player's holding down Alt, and you have the tag. So right now we've got the idle tag, we are at 0. I'm pressing the button. We briefly had the log tag, and then we're on run. But we didn't press Alt. So this thing here ain't working. Is input key down? Alt isn't down. I feel like I need to take this out. Remaining. Velocity shouldn't matter then in that case. If I'm going by if that key down. Isn't there a node or button that forces the animation to complete before the next animation? Okay, let's brute force it for now and get rid of that. Let's see if it'll go straight into the run. No, it'll still go to the walk. Let's take this one out too. Why is it walking? What? There it is. That's the animation that was supposed to play. Let's disconnect this for a second too. If I disconnect this now, speed technically. Right. Alright, guys. I gotta run, though. A little bit early today. We've got, yeah, 17 minutes early. Well, let's call it 15 minutes early. But I will be back on Tuesday next week. I don't know why my music's stuck. Thanks so much for hanging out, though. You've been developing 2 games since last December, but I only do animations for it. I feel like I could learn better if I was also doing the blueprints myself. I'm just terrified of it. My tip is, like, you're holding yourself back by being terrified, obviously. Like, I get that. But on one end, like, you know, if you put yourself in a position where you're uncomfortable, you learn and grow a lot. Like, usually it's the positions of being a little uncomfortable that push you out of your comfort zone, that make you learn something new, that get you further in something that you do. And then the other thing too is make a bet with yourself. If you're so terrified that you're like, I don't know if I can do this, this sounds so complicated, that seems so crazy, give yourself 3 months. Find a few videos. Play around with it. And I bet you anything, if at the end of 3 months you look back at where you started, you'll be in a much better spot and you'll have learned a bunch. If at the end of that you're like, this isn't for me, then that's that. But regardless, you will have learned something. Let me quickly see. 5 game tutorial. Oh.
Hey everyone, so
Tab just crashed? What the fuck? Unreal Engine 5 top-down shooter. Pretty sure I found it.
hey everyone, so this video is for those of you who are brand new to Unreal Engine 5.
Okay. There you go. That's a great tip to bet myself. I'm also thinking of applying to be a game animator, so maybe I can learn while getting paid. I mean, go for it. I honestly... It's funny that you're saying that, because that seems more scary to me than actually just sitting there following a YouTube tutorial. But yeah, go for that. And then if you don't know who Pirate Software is, I greatly recommend watching him. YouTuber, streamer, mostly streamer, I would say. Pirate Software. You might have seen his boards float around YouTube. But this guy right here, super wholesome. He has a massive Discord community with a ton of resources for game development and other aspects of that. Pirates have to review my game once, but yeah, he's great. All right, well then, I don't need to tell you that. But yeah, make a bet with yourself. See where you end up in 3 months. See where you end up after that video, because that video is for people who've never used Unreal Engine or like that are pretty new to Unreal Engine. So yeah, maybe at the end of that video you're like, you know what, I can do this. There's other tutorials too that teach you how to make like a platformer game and all that, like basically in an entire video. Yeah. Can't find it. Whatever link you sent doesn't work. Get into it. Thanks for the awesome stream too. Thanks a lot. Yeah, no worries, man. You take care. And I will see you all on Tuesday next week. Same as usual. 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. Earlier if I can do it. Not 8:30 a.m. Until then, you guys take care. Bye, everybody.
A patron has joined the militia.